Guys, I'm back with the Diecast Thomas collection. Last time we reviewed Thomas and Annie. Today, numerically, we're going to do Henry. This guy, this might be Henry's comeback, He's been disrespected over the last few years. And, I think they did them correctly with this model. I really like it. The face, though, I don't know. But we'll check that out, So, as tradition, since we're not going to focus on any of these other models, especially Thomas and Annie, we're gonna have to do the old classic by wiping them off. Yeah, Annie just fell on the floor, RIP, and on the carpet. So, this is Henry, right? I have a few other Henry models here from my childhood, as you can tell. They're really destroyed. So, it's definitely time for a new Henry. And I really like the color they used for Henry. They've been using different colors for these models. So, Thomas, Gordon are different shades of blue, as you can see from the packaging. And then Henry and Percy, I believe, are different shades as well. And honestly, I really like this Henry model, as I said. I feel like they did him justice, especially for how they've treated him before. So, I guess it's just time to open the packaging. Since there's no way to conserve this packaging, and I'm not going to keep these packages, I'll just open it like this. This actually is really satisfying. But yeah. So, moment of truth. Here's Henry. I really like how he looks, honestly. And a thing I've been seeing, right, with these models is that they're connected. Like, they're not a magnet. Like, the tenders are actually connected to the models. You can't see them off. Which is something I really needed. Because all my take and play models of Henry, I think this is a take along, they don't have their tenders. I have no idea where they went. So, I feel like for the younger generation, this is great because it's basically impossible to lose the tender. So, this is a really good addition to the models. So, based on this, I really like it. I like this green. The tender is missing a wheel, but the rest of the wheel configuration is really nice, honestly. Let's check it out with this. You can see this only has 3 wheels. This is a terrible model for Henry. Same as my Thomas models here. They're from the same era. This Thomas and this Henry, they did not do justice to the characters. Now Henry has its own bogey again, just like the take-along model right here. Very, very good models right here. Look at this guy right here. Yeah. The tender, it has its own shape. They're not using little squash tender at this point. One recommendation is that maybe you can modify it by adding another wheel in the middle, but honestly, you can't really ask for much, especially if you're seeing a model of this quality. Same as with Thomas, you can compare these, but honestly, my models are too destroyed to be compared that much. I feel like a worthy comparison would be to take along with this as, come on, you can't compare these two. Like, there's an obvious difference, and so let's just put this one to the side. As you can see, actually, right, I like this model a lot more than this. Let me explain. His bogey, they're separated unlike this model. I don't think we've ever had this. I don't own an Ertl Henry, but even with Ertls, I don't believe they were Henrys or that they had separate bogies. But they did have a proper wheel configuration, I guess. The faces, this face is destroyed, but honestly, I like this face a little bit more. But that doesn't mean a lot because this face is destroyed. I would rather CGI Henry face, but you can't ask for too much since this is not CGI Thomas anymore. Well, I guess it is, but it's not the CGI Thomas we all know. But for what it is, this face is not the worst ones. The Thomas face is a bit worse. Like, this actually kind of suits him. Thomas, it needs to grow on me a bit more, but I like this face, honestly. There's other ones which we don't talk about, right? Which I don't really like Annie's. But honestly, this is not bad. Something I will give to the take-along, which I've already stated in my past reviews on Thomas, is that this one uses dumb magnets, and then this one uses smart magnets. If you don't know what it is, basically, this magnet can connect both ways. This one from this one. This one is only a one-way connector, so it can't connect only from this side. That's what we'll give to take-along and early take-and-plays. They did this system perfectly. I don't know why they ever changed it. But since they've been using this since like 2013, you can't expect much. They were never going to go back to these types of magnets. And honestly, I understand that they're trying to simplify the play. But I feel like one of the main reasons Take Longs are so good is you could be creative with it. Put whatever coaches behind your trains in whichever way. But I understand why they took it away. So I don't really mind that much. This still works, but this doesn't. So whatever, honestly. I still like this model and is one of the only non-destroyed Henrys in my entire collection. So honestly, I'll take what I can get at this point. So I have the scale right here that I used in my last video. Now, unfortunately, right, I can't really compare these two since both of them are missing their tenders. And this one isn't. But just based on my hands, honestly, this one weighs a lot more than this one. But this one weighs a lot, around similarly to this one, honestly. This one might be a bit heavier, but you can't really do a comparison because you're missing their tenders, but you'll still see, though. How much does this weigh? This weighs 106 grams, while this one weighs 66, yeah. With a tender, it would probably be almost equal. And then this one's like a big boy. Yeah, 96 grams right there. So yeah, as you can tell, the more it goes on, so this is like the oldest one, second oldest and newest. As time goes on, these models get less and less weighty. They get less weight on them for budget cuts and everything. I already mentioned this on my last review. But honestly, I don't really mind that much. This one's just the worst model, of course. This one's best or second best, I don't know. But the weight actually has gone up, I've noticed, on the Thomas one. So it's probably gone up on this one as well. It's just based on hand weights. I think this one weighs more than this one. And it's a lot more detailed, so yeah. Now that we're done using the scale, we can just throw it on the floor and get out the magnifying glass for some more finer details, just in case, you know. So yeah, right here. Really good. If you notice anything I don't notice, they have painted stuff. The face, I don't really mind it. I like it. Number 3. The tender has a special shape now. It's not like the squished tenders from before. One modification, I've said, middle wheel right there. Everything else seems good. Painted buffers is one I've seen, right? They don't have painted buffers. I'm not sure if they've ever had painted buffers, though. That's the thing. I don't remember if I painted the buffers on this one. They might have had painted buffers before. The coal, honestly, I don't know if it looks good or not. I don't have anything to compare it with. Here's the coal. I mean, you could take a look at it if you wanted to. Not sure if it looks good. You guys can test it out. I couldn't give a definite answer to that. Now let's compare how he's supposed to look in the series versus the toy. You know, one of the most important things a toy can do is look pretty similar to their show designs. Especially for kids, you know. They want really accurate toys. Honestly, I see it. I feel like this is really accurate. Shape-wise, correct. Yep. Everything looks good, honestly. Let's throw that on the floor. Like I said, with Thomas Reed, this can work on Trackmaster Revolution track, as it's designed with a wider base. So it works perfectly fine with this. Since this track is the base for the new track, I don't think they've changed track around that much. This one, unfortunately, won't work. It's too tight, and the bogies don't move at all. This one, as well, doesn't really work as it's supposed to. So, this has a lot of play features on it. So you can play this on the ground, you can play it with your motorized engines, a lot of things. Really good for $8.50 it costed. I didn't mention that last time. These engines, these 2-packs cost $8.50 or 49 cents, I guess, but like doesn't really make a difference. So for what you're getting for that price, I think this is really good. Now let's check under. The things I like about these is that they come with their names. You know, I've noticed a lot of people say that kids need names, you know? They need their names there. is this cool thing. This is a nail. This is rivets. And then these are rivets as well. So this is a closer view on it. Tender really cool. I really like the tenders, honestly. They've not done Henry right in so long that now we're actually getting a okay Henry design. It feels like it looks really good, even though it might not even look good. You know, I might have like rose tinted goggles right now. So for some modifications you can do, you could paint these buffers. That's something that Mattel has not done, right? They've not painted the buffers. It takes such little work, and I don't know why I've never done it before. And it's such an easy fix to make the model look just that bit better. But yeah, you could paint the buffers, definitely. You could paint the running board, but honestly, as you see here, it's pretty hard to do, and to take it apart and everything, it's not worth it, honestly. I just like it like this. I'll probably just leave it like this, honestly. I'll just paint the buffers. I'll probably do that with my Thomas and honestly all of these. A cool thing is that the motorized range now uses magnets, right? So you can use the coaches or trucks of the motorized range for your diecast range as well. So yeah, this just connects perfectly. Now, of course, it's not the right size, but since I literally don't own any trucks this size, I actually did buy a troublesome trucks, but that's for another review, so I can't have it yet. It's not open, right? But yeah, you can use the motorized ranges trucks for your diecast trains. Just if you have just a bunch of these, but not a bunch of like diecast trucks, you could still use them for some rolling stock and stuff, which is a really cool design, honestly. And I like it, honestly. And these magnets, you know, they've been using it forever, and it works perfectly fine. If you guys have any questions about the trains, leave them below. I could probably respond to them if I have time. So, I mean, that's it, honestly. This is a pretty good model. Recommend it. It's probably the end of the review. So, I'll be seeing you guys later on with a Gordon review after this, actually. So, bye-bye!